Welcome back to the Nerdrotic channel. My name is Gary Beekler. I am live in San Francisco, California, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com. And down in San Diego, as always, is my co-host and good friend, Dennis Patalkas. What's up, Dennis?
Nothing much, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Just got back from work. Just watched the last episode of Luke Cage, and we are here covering season 2 of Luke Cage. This will be a little different from our normal recap because we're not going to go play by play. It's going to be more of a discussion of the season, an open discussion, favorite parts, what you hated, what you loved. I want to hear from you guys, most of all in the chat. And we have the usual beautiful people out there. How are y'all in the chat? Dennis, first of all, overall thoughts. What did you think of season 2?
Well, before we do that, let's hold up the little sign that we have because we are going to probably give out some spoilers. So spoiler warning.
Yes.
Spoiler alert. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. It's actually pretty good. And we're going to talk about some stuff that more than likely is going to spoil the 13 episodes that we had there. And quite frankly, it was a lot better than the first season. A lot better. And I really liked it. I thought it was good.
What did you like about it?
What I liked about it, there was a lot of stuff to like in this. The overall story actually carried through everything instead of actually cutting in the middle. Remember, like the first season did. The first season kind of was 2 stories.
Yes, it was. That was pretty much the Netflix model for the first seasons of everything. Is like there was 2 parts to every season.
Yeah, and it was just really bad. And this didn't lag. There was one episode that kind of lagged a little bit in the middle, but wasn't overall like, lag where you had a couple of really big filler episodes that you could tell. And dude, they actually kind of made things scary with Mariah. I was surprised,
They really brought out the Black Mariah this season for sure.
Yeah, dude, they really made her kind of evil, and not just kind of evil. They made her really evil, and they didn't go really heavy on the superhero element. But you know what? It wasn't missing. It felt like a proper 70s style movie. Is really what it felt like. Like one of the like Shaft or something like that. Even had the background music, same kind of background music in all the episodes. And then also the music too, man. The music in this was just awesome throughout all the episodes.
Yeah, the music was great. I have no complaints about the music. Man, I'm torn on this one. Okay, I thought it was pretty good. I'll just say that. I thought it was pretty good. Disappointed about some things. The first thing off the bat is stop the 13 episodes, please.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you not go 13 episodes with the Defenders and go 13 episodes with your regular and not bring in the MCU and not bring in other characters? And we got some super chats. First, we have to acknowledge Movie Fanobi. Wrenches bring beautiful pain. Thanks, Movie Fanobi. Feisty Fan, first MCU fastball special. Yes, absolutely. And for Dennis's Luke Cage review. That's right. Do you like that? Thanks, Movie Fanobi. So I don't want to sound like I didn't like it. I enjoyed it. The first season for me was a tale of 2 seasons. I loved the Cottonmouth stuff, and it's primarily because the actor, what's his name again?
I
can't remember his name. I'm sorry.
It's very hard for me to pronounce, to tell you the truth. Yeah, and I'm going to murder it if I say it.
He was amazing. That was the best. I mean, actually, we've gotten some great acting performances out of the Netflix series. Okay, Vincent D'Onofrio, David Tennant, and and Cottonmouth. Okay, sorry, I can't remember his name. I apologize. Those were magnificent. But Diamondback was so bad at the end; it really took me out of the series. Not Michael Coulter. That's Luke Cage.
Mashallah Ali.
Ali, yeah, he's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's been in lots of other stuff
and totally missed. I saw Ray and I saw what you were saying, and I feel you, man. I do. It was 2. I find myself with Netflix. There's only 2 Netflix series I've 3. There's 3 that I haven't felt like I started fast forwarding through a little bit just because they're gonna walk down a hallway. I'll skip this part. And it was Daredevil season 1 and 2 and The Punisher. Now, this had a great beginning. It really did. I loved Bushmaster. I thought he was great. I thought he's a good bad guy. But there's some leaps in logic. Like Danny Rand is there. So I would always try to explain why other superheroes can't show up. Okay. Because it's ridiculous to go, I want to do this on my own and then be worried about lots of people dying. Because if Iron Fist comes in, less people die because he's really powerful. So, and by the way, folks, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but this was the best representation of Iron Fist we have gotten so far in Netflix. It looks like he went and worked out, you know, got a little meat on his bones, Finn Jones, and he felt like he was way more comfortable in the character, and I really enjoyed. Episode 10 was great. Okay, yeah. I have nothing bad to say about Power Man and Iron Fist. And I was hoping we would get that. I understand why they want to have the character kind of shine in his own show, but for these Netflix shows to go on, and if they're not going to do the Defenders, they need to have way more crossover. And for Jessica Jones, who is the most powerful one of them all, pretty much, it's debatable, but she's pretty fucking powerful. To not come in and help when there's an all-out gang war going on is a little ridiculous. I mean, unless it's just Luke Cage's pride, which I can buy. That is something that he has within the comics and within the TV show. But you know, like with Westworld, when you think about stuff a little bit, and there's moves because of plot reasons, it takes me out a little bit, but not much. This had a better flow to it than season 1 for sure. It felt like a full complete season. I would have liked it a lot more if it was 10 episodes. That's all. And that ending, we got to talk about that ending. We got to, you know, if we want to not bury the lead, and they borrowed a little bit from, there's been a couple stories that have done this, you know, but Daredevil in particular has done the whole I'll become the kingpin of crime thing to do things right. And I thought it's interesting. But are we going to get a Luke Cage season 3?
I hope so. See, for me, it felt like they were testing the waters on a couple of things. It looked like they were testing the water on Daughters of the Dragon, a little bit with Misty and Colleen Wing.
Yep.
And then Heroes for Hire, because they threw a little bit of that in there. They even mention it quite often. And then Power Man and Iron Fist.
Yeah. So I want to ask you about the Heroes for Hire thing. It got completely forgotten.
Yes, it did.
About halfway through. And I was a little disappointed for that because I thought they were building up to that. The other funny thing about this, and correct me if I'm wrong, we'll find people in the chat. Does this show feel like it didn't get promoted enough? I know I unplug, so I don't watch commercials or anything. But usually here in San Francisco, when a Netflix shows come out, like the buses are covered with them, and I didn't see Luke Cage anywhere.
Yep, I didn't see him anywhere either. And yeah, I found it. I think we were talking about this in a couple other podcasts where they haven't been doing all that much promo for it. Johnny Papa said he saw some stuff.
Okay.
I didn't. So, you know, I watch commercials here and there. I see a lot of that. And I wasn't seeing anything, especially on FX, which you think would have it since they're very Marvel centric. I watch a lot of Simpsons, you know, I just have it on the background, and no mention of Luke Cage anywhere. Season 2.
Interesting. I agree with you about why there shouldn't be more why there should be more crossover in Netflix. Defenders Misty's a flop, so use the series for team ups. Do you think Marvel TV or showrunners? Do you think it's a Marvel TV showrunner's cock block? Says Movie Finobi. Yeah, I think there is something going on behind the scenes with Marvel Television that we don't know about. That is to the point where they don't mention the Hulk by name. They call him the Green Monster.
Yeah, the Green Monster. Yeah, and even so, that's his name. Yeah,
yeah, and then they get a little semi break the fourth wall by saying that's not his name. You know what I mean? So like we can't say they even admit that they can't say his name. That's the way I took that whole scene. Is like, this is ridiculous that we can't say the Hulk.
Yeah.
When they've said Captain America and Jessica Jones, I don't understand that at all. And I think it's Kevin Feige just going, don't play in my sandbox. Stay the fuck out.
Ray Rain says, I only know when shows come out on Netflix when they send a notification through email.
Yeah, there's a couple of shows that look really interesting. I was going over our summer schedule because things are going to get, we don't have a ton of shows to cover over the summer. It's kind of a quiet time for television, so I'm kind of really mining to look for stuff to cover. And there's a Netflix movie coming out. Like this is this is how it ends or something like that. It looks awesome. We're going to cover that. I was like watched the trailer, but I had never heard of it. So I don't know.
I posted the trailer on our page. Movie Fanobi says, also, since they blatantly point out I'm doing this alone, I can only do so much alone. You shouldn't do this alone. Claire, I'm your backup. Should have more crossover, like you said.
Yeah, and Claire's like, is she coming back or is that the end of Claire?
Well, we saw at the very end there, Sugar said Claire's here, and he says, tell Claire to go home, is what he told her.
Yep.
And I think that's it. I think we actually, if we ever get a season 3, maybe we're finally setting the stage for him and Jessica Jones to get together.
Yeah, and Mary asked that in the chat, like, don't they have a family in the Marvel comics? And they do, and that's a great story. And I think maybe, oh my God, wouldn't it be great? You could fix both series if you have Jessica Jones and Luke Cage together in a show, just whatever you want to call it, right? Call it Heroes for Hire. I don't care. And have, them bringing each other back from the brink of darkness. And I think that, and maybe have Danny in it, could do a Heroes for Hire show and just do Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and Power Man. And by the way, I like the name Power Man. Okay. I like Power Man. I like that they mentioned it a couple times. And I don't know. I've never liked when shows or movies are called by somebody's name, like Bill Smith or whatever. It's just, I don't know. It's not a lot of imagination there, but,
How's Your Father? No. Heroes was best left in the past. He asked, how about a retrospective on the mess that was Heroes?
Writer's strike. 2 words. When I started working down in Hollywood, it was right after the writer's strike, and oh man, people hated writers. They really did. They weren't welcome at bars and stuff like that. It was weird. And there was no work at all for creatives. Us post-production people, there was plenty of work for us, but there we go.
And Viking Bitch, you never saw Heroes. You were one of the lucky ones.
You are.
Movie Fanobi says Jessica Jones started that way with Luke and it worked. Yeah, it did. And then they kind of went off the rails. I don't know what happened. Episode 10, the one that we were talking about in this season 2 with Danny and him, basically Power Man and Iron Fist, was freaking awesome. And you know who wrote that one? It was one of the Goddard brothers.
Oh, really?
Andrew Goddard, yes. And if he's as talented as Drew, which it seems like he is, because that episode had a lot of like fuck yeah moments for me anyway in it. I want to see more from him.
Viking Bitch says, I think I have Legionitis. I'm having such a hard time getting into anything else. I kind of felt like after that's what killed the CW shows for me after I watched Daredevil. I had such a hard time going back to stuff after Daredevil season 1. By the way, hello. I saw a lot of hellos back in the chat. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I binged all of the Luke Cage. I have some very strong feelings about it, says Feisty Fan. What are your feelings? Let's hear them. I would like to hear some.
She agrees that the best episode was number 10.
Number 10. Yeah, that stood out. I could, that's the one episode I will watch over and over again.
Yeah.
I don't think this series has a great rewatchability, which is a problem because if Netflix is going to do this binge formula, you have to have rewatchability. It can't be disposable. That's why I don't think that it's a good formula at all. And investors into Netflix might want to change that someday. I mean, it works now, I guess, kind of. And it does set them apart. But when they really start getting competition from Disney and Hulu and Amazon is coming, they're, if they don't spread out their shows, they're going to have to just pay for more shows. And that's going to get expensive.
DJ F and Nice, no Cloak and Dagger. No. Gary didn't like what was going on with it. And so we have stopped for a little while there.
We might go back to it. I don't know. The last episode, there was something in it that completely pissed me off. It was also boring. But it's kind of sparse for us this summer, so I might revisit it. That's why on our Thursday schedule I have a to be announced. It's a possibility. I'm basically going to watch the episode and decide then. Sorry for the last minute, but if we had a full schedule, I would not be covering it. But we cover TV shows. I'll give it another chance. It could, and Viking Bitch, I think she probably got pissed about the same thing I did. And it kind of took me right out of the show. There was some bad writing towards the end. There is some good music, but the dialogue is like a soap opera. Anybody wonder if Doomcock is a woman? Says Slurmy Scott. No, I've never wondered if Doomcock was a woman. By the way, I heard most of it. It might still be going on. He's on World Class Bullshitters right now, and that is going to blow him up, folks. He's going to, by tomorrow, he'll probably have 10,000 subs. If he hasn't hit it by now. Here, let me go check while you're reading the chat.
DeMarco Easton says the best episode is number 12. That is the one where Bushmaster and Luke team up to take down the drug dealers that are...
I like that one. That one was good.
I liked it. It was okay. But the thing for me was it started off with the drugs, and then that whole plot line disappeared, only to come back in again at the end. And I was just kind of like, what? And then, they never really touched on the fact of the drugs were making these kids go crazy, and it wasn't heroin. And they never really touched on it again as to what it was. That was, if anything, I would say that was one of my biggest pet peeves about this whole season.
Yeah. Hey, okay. How many other people thought, was it the 12th episode? Yeah, it was the beginning of the 12th episode when they're doing the drugs and the girl bites the guy. I'm like, are they going to bring in Blade?
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
That would be awesome. Oh, you want to talk about, that's how you introduce new heroes, something. You can't do the same formula. And this is going to be a problem with everything superhero from now on. You can't just do an origin singular solo superhero story anymore. People like multiple superhero stories, even if it's just a guest. Now, it did help that Danny Rand was in for an episode, and it was nice that he tried to help him find peace. But it was such an uphill battle, and I did like the fact that they didn't end it on a happy note. That Luke drove away. He basically did everything Mariah did. Mm-hmm. Differently. Okay. So he drove everybody away who loves him, just in a very different way. Mariah kills them and betrays them. Luke just put up a wall and pushed him away. Did something to push him away.
I am disappointed we're not going to see more of Reg Cathay since he passed away, who played Luke's father.
Yeah, that was sad. He was really good in it too.
Yeah, he was really, really good. And we find out where Sweet Christmas came from.
Yes. Oh, dude, that last scene they had together when they're sitting at the back of an ambulance or something like that, and he just basically tells them how proud he is. Okay, that scene got me a little bit. All right, just a little bit. That was a good scene. That was a really fucking good scene. So, and God, forgive me for this. Okay, I got nothing against Michael Coulter. My wife loves him. It's one of her 5 boyfriends. He's a good Luke Cage. He really is. Luke Cage is stoic and stuff, but he doesn't have like the greatest acting range in the world. And it helps to, and the thing is, it fit with, so you talked about the soap opera acting that actually fits in with the aesthetic, because it's supposed to be blaxploitation. I can't say that word. It's hard for me to say that word. And it's supposed to be from that genre of film or whatever it is, that Dennis is a huge fan of. And it felt right. I mean, the music was good. And there's some good overacting by Alfie Woodard, who's like fucking great actress. I mean, she's amazing. Okay. She yelled at Captain Picard and got away with it. Okay. And and Shades is good too. And he was really overacting.
He was really chewing up scenery, like big time, to the point where I was just going, dude, really? Come on. And I loved him. I mean, he was in Sons of Anarchy, back then, I should say. He was one of the original cast members of Sons of Anarchy. And He did nothing but good in this one. I thought he had a really good, strong character arc, especially when they did the whole Comanche storyline with him and Comanche having what she called the Brokeback Mountain.
Oh my God. Oh, I was laughing so. I know you're not supposed to laugh at that scene, okay? But Dennis knows. Um, I love, yeah, when they were saying the whole thing about, things are different inside, man. People don't understand, you know. We all have feelings, and what did they say? They said
Without any human touch, without any human interaction, we found some inside, something like that. And I was like, oh, that's the wrong choice of words, man.
listen, yeah. Well, I like how Comanche was owning it. He's all, I feel the same, and yeah, and Shades was not. It's like, Shades, bro. Yeah, there's no, that's not true. You either are or you ain't. It's all right, man.
And then
You can deny it all you want, buddy.
and then what he's trying to explain. Thank you, Feisty Fan 499. Shade's character development in this show was top notch. He's probably my favorite character in the season. Yeah, he was awesome in it. He did a great job when he's trying to explain to Mariah that it's kind of like when you go away to college and
Right?
you have a fling in college. And I'm like, no,
Like a
man.
lug,
Yeah.
a lesbian until graduation. So yeah, that's a thing. Or a
that was-
gug, gay until graduation. Yeah. It's kind of like it's not like going to college. Trust me. I was sorry, man. I even brought my wife out. I'm like, you gotta watch this scene. It's so funny. Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of cringy on that one. I was just
It
like,
was.
oh.
I was trying to imagine a bunch of convicts watching that inside a prison, which they probably what their reaction was. That would have been funny. Hell.
Oh God. Yeah, that was
But that really did, like, Shades kind of had the best like character arc throughout the whole show, if you think about it. And then like he was broken after he shot Comanche, and he was just being Shades right up until the time Comanche died, and that changed him. He's like, oh shit, I did love him, and I fucking killed him, and because of all this and why, and after he did this whole lecture of like, we can be better than this,
Yeah. And the whole thing with the killing going on in Gwen's in the shop when she lights the uncle on fire and everything, that really shook him too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was because that was just hard. But he even called it. He's like, listen, Mariah is that bad. Okay. When she flips the switch, she'll do what it takes. So he asked her to do it. I mean, like, she still did it. And yes, Feisty Fan, he's definitely bisexual. I think he's definitely bisexual, and nothing wrong with that, but just don't be in denial, buddy. Own it, brother. Own it. Bushmaster was brilliant too. I was rooting him for him to succeed after we found out what happened to his family. Agreed, Jody. Those Jamaican scenes were actually pretty good. You know what? It's the what did I have a problem with? The shifting of plot. Like you just said. They talked about Heroes for Hire, and then they
dropped it.
They dropped it, and then they got rid of two major players. Just the kidney thing happened out of nowhere, and he had to go to San Diego, and Claire left, and we saw that he was, we're isolating Luke Cage.
Yeah.
And he clearly doesn't make very good decisions on his own. It's like, come on, dude. Everybody you love is telling you the same thing. Yeah.
D-Dub at the end there, I actually liked him when he stepped up and he goes, you know what, you're not welcome here anymore in Pops. No, and I was like, okay, I'm actually at first I'm like, what? And then I was thinking, I'm like, no, he's actually right, because he can't talk business in that shop. That was Pop's rule, because it was like, Switzerland. It was neutral.
It was. And Mary Ashmead, I agree with you. They should have done a better season of 2 of Jessica Jones. So disappointed, especially with Luke not there. You can't do one without the other. Both, they need to be in each other's show, period. There's a reason it works in the comics, okay, because they have good chemistry. Bendis has crafted a good relationship between those two. What you love or hate Bendis right now, when he was in his prime, he was writing those two because you could tell he loved those characters, and it was great to have. There's so few married couples or even couples together with a kid in comic books, so it's great to have that once in a while.
And let's talk about Alfre Woodward with her. I mean, I know she was chewing up a lot of scenery, but she gave 2, maybe 3 of the best scenes out of this season when she's talking to Tilda about how Tilda came to be conceived and what happened. And I was like, damn, woman, you're evil. I was like, holy shit, she's evil. And she just kind of, she grabbed onto that with the teeth and just went for that whole scene. And I was like, damn.
It was very Watchmen, except we didn't get the good thing out of the end. That was really dark how that all turned out.
Then her burning the uncle alive, and him just screaming in pain. And she goes, Jesus, will you just die already? And then shoots him. And I was like, damn.
Yep. No, and his speech right before he gets lit on fire, he's like, you'll eat food, but you won't taste. Yeah.
I'm gonna hunt you to the end of your days. Yeah. And then the final one that got me was in prison, when the Jamaicans are gonna kill her in prison, and she gets saved by Sunflower, and Sunflower's trying to shake her down for money, and she's like, can I have that shank here? I want to carve my name in this bitch's body. And then she cut Sunflower's throat. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. She and then they killed her.
Yeah.
Okay, so what Jody says here is, I think they should wrap things up with Luke Cage and Iron Fist solo Netflix shows and just combine them for a Heroes for Hire show instead. Agreed.
Yeah.
And maybe I think that's probably how we'll get a season 3. It almost seems like that's how they were setting things up. And maybe it's Danny who comes in and maybe they fight a little bit in the beginning. Danny's like, dude, what are you doing? And then Luke's like, this is my neighborhood, get out, then they fight. Then they team up.
Jody, yes, Tilda is going to become a villain. She actually becomes Nightshade. They dropped the name so many damn times. It was like hitting a brick over your head every time they said it.
Yeah. Well, I loved how she looked at the end, though. That was a good look.
Yeah.
Love it or hate it, Defenders brought chemistry of the heroes together. Bad Buddy, that was the one missed opportunity of it. Like, the heroes together, the acting was fine, was absolutely fine. It was the set pieces and a very strange choice of villain.
Yeah. Which got killed about almost halfway through, a little more than halfway through. It was very, very odd. Is
there a thing going on in Hollywood where we can't write bad guys or girls anymore because they're afraid to be offensive or something? I mean, like, explain to me what's going on. Why is it going postmodern on us? Like, nobody's really bad. We're going to have our heroes fight circumstances. It's like, come on. It's like Luke Cage is going to come out against gentrification. Luke Cage versus gentrification. It's like, come on. Can we have him like fighting? We had the Bushmaster, but they even, they made him into a very sympathetic character to the point where if he comes back, I don't want him to die. That kid went through hell. Poor kid.
Yeah. I mean, well, maybe they can have him fight pollution when he comes back.
Fight pollution. That's right.
Give a hoot, read a book.
I know. And it's a bit forced with Luke Cage and Claire and possibly Misty, at least with the show. Though I do kind of like his chemistry with Misty more than Claire. Jody, he does have better chemistry. He had great chemistry with Jessica Jones.
He did. Yeah.
And they dropped that. I don't get it.
The whole thing with Misty, when he asked her if he could crash at her place, and she goes, that time that we and the cop that's looking over her shoulder that looks up at her had coffee.
Right.
Which made me laugh because I forgot that they'd slept together in the first season. I was like, oh, that's right, they did.
I like that Italian at the end's like, you want some espresso? I never liked espresso. And she's like, you've never been served the right cup. Mm-hmm.
Well, everyone's trying to get him coffee. He actually mentions it at the beginning. And I love every woman's like, you want a cup of coffee? He's like, no, I'm good.
I'm good.
No, I'm good. And that just kind of made me laugh that they kept having that. I mean, where's that follow through on the rest of the storylines? You know?
Right. Ray Rain says, "Oh hell, just throwing Captain Planet." Just kidding. No, you're not. And they might. This is Netflix we're talking about here.
Movie Fanobi says, when you're talking about smaller areas of New York, they don't have to be together all the time in every world, but they all inhabit the space. Danny could have been with Misty early for arm, etc. Early for her arm.
Yeah. Yeah, I was I can't okay, this name is it Jacquin?
Joe.
I see it. I see an umlaut in there. So
yes. So I'm saying Shuts.
Shuts. Okay, because my last name, they Americanized it. It actually has an umlaut, and it's so it's like Buk, Bukler, but it has an umlaut in it. But nobody could pronounce it, so they changed it to something even more unpronounceable. I never understood it. So yeah, I actually was expecting Danny to be there for the arm. I was too. It was weird that they didn't have Colleen and Danny in the same scenes together. I guess they wanted to spread it out. The Misty Night was pretty good. There's some scenes that were like the whole the whole scarf thing. They really played that heavy. Okay?
Yeah, they played that one out.
Episodes would have been fine. But like scarf flashbacks and stuff, there's a lot of stuff they could have put on the cutting room floor. Oops, would you drop something, Feisty fan? Yeah, there's totally kept using coffee as a running joke. Oh yeah, the Carbon Mob Queen. She was totally flirting with them. Yeah, she was. The Carbone Mob Queen. Yeah, she was. She was laying it on thick, and she kind of looked like Aunt May from Homecoming. What do y'all think about that Spider-Man title? Far From Home.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Spider-Man goes for a walk. You know, Spider-Man taking an Uber. You know, whatever. I have to say the best part of the season was when the Turk scene. Turk's all legit with the smoke shop now. Yeah, poor
I love when they said, "Yeah, we got to go see one of the most crookedest people that we know," and I was like, "Turk" is what I said out loud.
Yeah, I know. It's like, damn,
because Turk is the unifying force of all these shows.
It's not even going to be Claire anymore, right? It's going to be Turk.
It's going to be Turk, yeah. And honestly, I'm not all that broken up about losing Claire. Tell you the truth.
She was just kind of there. I mean, I love Rosario Dawson.
I love Rosario Dawson too, but unless she's gonna, add anything to the story, she can go home.
She was good as just the night nurse. You know what I mean? Of being there, fixing everybody up. You also got the feeling that Luke's development of the last episode should have been started an episode or two earlier. The sudden change gave me whiplash, right? My God. I don't know what is the HIMYM finale. What is that?
I forget now. I forget what the acronym is. I'm sorry. I deal with so many acronyms at work, man, that they disappear off my head now.
I feel like I should know this, and once I hear it, I'm gonna go.
Spider-Man, I'm home next movie.
Right? Oh.
Yeah. Jody says, do you think an unexpected side effect of the experiment gave Luke Cage super pheromones or something? All these ladies offering him coffee. I mean, lay it on thick, why don't you?
You'd think that, but it's not. It's just Michael Coulter. Right? He's a handsome dude.
How I Met Your Mother. That's what the HIM.
Oh,
that's right. How I Met Your Mother.
Thank you. That. Did that one give you a whiplash? I didn't.
Yeah, the ending of that one was just kind of like, huh? It was really kind of a weird ending.
Okay,
they did.
I like the show, but I've only seen it in like pieces. I've never watched a full season or anything like that.
That's the best way to watch it, honestly.
Yeah.
Very, very small pieces.
Small pieces. small pieces.
And let's also talk about I don't know, Tilda, for some reason. She was there, then she wasn't. She was there, then she wasn't. She was there, then she wasn't. And I was like, are they actually going to bring her into this story or not? Because for a while there, it just kind of looked like she was dipping her toe in and taking it out, dipping her toe in, taking it out, dipping her toe in, taking it out. She
lives her whole life away from her mother, starts a holistic what is it? Doctor's
Herbal
office,
shop, yeah.
herbal shop, where after she goes to medical school and becomes a full-on doctor, it's concierge medical care as well as a holistic shop. Seems like she's doing really well, really happy. She gets around her mom for what? How long does the series take place over? A couple weeks, a week,
I think it's like a week,
a
actually.
week, and turns into a supervillain.
Yeah.
It's like and straight up kills her mom. Okay, the killing her mom thing I can get. All right, after I heard that story,
Especially when she sung it out too, and I'm like, really? You have to sing
yeah.
it? What you gonna do? And thank you, Viking Bitch, for the $2. I'm just here to spread some love. Thank you very much. Yeah,
Your spoiler signs are beautiful, by the way. Thank you so much. That will always have a special place in our heart, especially Dennis when he finally gets his, is because it's the first thing like somebody, not just gave to us, but made, which is like, it takes love to make stuff. Okay. Yep. So back at you, Viking Bitch. Thank you.
So yeah, her character, I knew that they needed her for the whole Bushmaster stuff and the Nightshade and all that, but I was like, wow.
But at the end, there was a pretty decent fight. And the only thing that happened was Mariah lost a pretty badass big screen. Okay. And maybe a coffee table. Luke kind of got his ass beat again.
Yeah.
And Bushmaster was just running low on the dope. Don't make us emotional. I promise I won't, movie Finobi. Tugging on your heartstrings there. So yeah, and then he just runs away and gets sick and goes away with his auntie. And I'm like, huh? Like, yeah, I'm glad they didn't kill him. Okay, I'm so sick of them killing villains. We need villains to come back. It's very comic book to be just about to kill him and go, no, we got to send him to justice so he can kill 20 more people and I can fight him again for 500 more comic books. That's how it goes. So yeah, it's I guess they're gonna bring him back. The actor was great. He looked formidable. Okay, the man, he looked freaking badass and evil and somebody who could actually take on Luke Cage. But people just keep shooting at him. Okay. And like, that's going to get old. It's like the word's going to get out that he's bulletproof.
Mustafa Shakir is his name.
Yeah. So, okay. How do you feel about the continuance of shooting at Luke Cage?
Well, he even said when he goes in and talks to the Italian crime boss, he goes, everyone's got to test the legend. They don't know if it's true or not. They've all got to try it out for themselves. And so he kind of explained it, why everyone keeps shooting at him. And because, I was kind of getting tired of it too, until he said that. I'm like, yeah, if I was somebody in this world who didn't believe it, you're like, yeah, sure, bulletproof my ass. And they're going to try it. They're going to try and shoot him.
Are his eyeballs bulletproof?
That's because Shades was actually trying to go for Bushmaster's eyes.
Yeah, Bushmaster was trying to go for his eye too in the fight outside of the supposed safe house at Rand.
Yeah.
And I just try to shoot him in the eyes if we're going to keep shooting. They need to stop shooting at Luke Cage. Actually, I Love Comics brought that up, and it's a good point. It's just done for plot reasons, but like, guys, bullets cost money. Save your money. What we need is super powered villains taking him on that can, and not the one that can beat him handily, but one that he has a hard time. We had that, but then it just kind of faded out. We knew, like, they set up Black Mariah as the bad guy for next season, and I'm glad we got that. And she was formidable. She was really good. Alfie Woodard. I always want to say Woody. Overacted beautifully. I love a good, like, when it's overacting. I like it, and there's only certain people who can pull that off, and she did it well.
Ray Rain says, what was up with the knife? Bushmaster was losing at that point, so he pulled out the knife and he figured he could try,
stab him in the eye.
Stab him in the eye. Yeah, that's what he was trying. He was going for it. So he was going to see if it worked. You got to try. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, it just does nothing except for here comes obligatory shoot 'em up action scene. They also, I know you said you didn't have a problem with it, but this is a superhero TV show, and here again we are at the end of this is two in a row now because we had Jessica. This is the same problem Jessica Jones had. There was no effing superpowers going on. There was bullets bouncing off, but there's other ways you could represent Luke Cage's power, his strength, his ability to jump. I know he's supposed to be lumbering, but they established in the show that he can run fast.
Yeah.
All right. So let's have him jumping around, do some wire work with him. I mean, something. Yeah, it's just him walking around and getting shot at and punching people really slow. And when I saw that there was going to be a scene with Danny Rand, I thought he was going to like show him how to fight.
That's what I thought too. I thought he was going to train him for a little bit, and I'm like, that would be actually kind of cool. And yeah, Roy Wood says the eye is where Claire inserted a needle in season 1. I was on board with the eye attempt. I forgot all about that.
That's right. Thank you. Last season, it was the special bullet. He's immune in episode 1. That must have been from his healing from Defenders or...
No, when they took him to the barn.
I took him to the barn. Okay.
To get, so they actually mentioned it in some song. One of the songs that I think Chris One was singing is that every time he gets hurt or every time he gets shot, he heals back stronger. No, it wasn't Chris One. It was the final song when he had taken over the bar finally. And they're talking about
he mentions it in the show as well. He started mentioning like having this weird healing ability. So yeah, so it's like callousing basically. Yeah. It's all right. That makes sense. I like that.
And I was okay with it. I was like, okay, that actually works. And I did like the Italian thug that tried to put the plastic bag over his head.
That's one try. Yeah.
and I like it. Just kind of like, really? And he grabs the guy's hand and just cracks him.
You can't drown me. You can't blow me up. Yeah, I wish they would have played with the more of the YouTube angle. Like Luke Cage, if you wanted money, just have a YouTube channel, dude. You got your boy there. Forget Instagram, YouTube.
Well, D-Dub was more about putting his own stuff out there. He wasn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
So he had enough money.
Social media representative, and then tweet on my own channel. Yeah. I had one of those at the Comic Outpost. I'll work your social media stuff, and then I'll just run it through my other channels. Like, okay, yeah, that doesn't work for me. Sorry.
Yeah, Roy Wood says the bathroom season 1 boosted his abilities. It was a throwaway line. Yeah. It was kind of a MacGuffin too. Yeah.
It was.
But that was fine. It worked for me. So that was fine with me. And they did produce a viable villain here because we have Nightshade coming up, and she's all about the poisons and the toxins, which is something that can get past the bulletproof skin.
It can, but I don't know how like theatrical that is. Of like, okay, so we got a bad guy who can poison his drink. Just don't drink anything. Don't kiss her. Don't drink anything, and I think you're okay.
Well, we had Bushmaster when he blew that dust in his face and paralyzed him. Too. That was actually kind of cool, where he paralyzed him and then pushed him off the bridge.
Yeah.
Trying to drown him.
They need to bring in more superheroes. There's lots of like Z and D-list people they can bring into this show. Somebody was, I don't know who was, somebody was asking about Cloak and Dagger about bringing in like Brother Voodoo, since they're in New Orleans and stuff. And I'm like, man, that would be a great idea. That would be fucking awesome. They won't, but they should. Yeah, zombie powder. Yeah, tetraditoxin. Don't bury me. I'm not dead. It's a great movie, by the way.
Yeah. I actually started reading that book, and then I stopped because it was just kind of boring, actually.
Oh, I loved it. Oh my God, I loved it.
The book. No, I mean the book, not the movie. Yeah. Movie, thank you.
I read both.
I
read the book. Yeah, I read the book. For Gary and all his feels, that makes you our guy. Thanks, Movie Finobi, for the $1.99 and the feels. All the feels. Yeah, man. Netflix has got to get their shit together. They can't roll out. You've got the MCU. All right. So Marvel honestly, it looked like oh my god. Okay, so we had Agents of Shield, then Daredevil came out, and Daredevil like blew me away. It still blows me away. Like I'm like, oh my god, is this what we're gonna get from the television and the movies? Holy shit! And they're gonna cross over, and then something happened, and they separated, and it looks like Netflix's budget got. That's the biggest thing. Is it is really clear after watching Jessica Jones and Luke Cage that the budgets got slashed.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
That's why we're not getting a bunch of superhero stuff and we're getting dramas. Okay. I mean, essentially, that's what we're getting. Now, this was better than Jessica Jones. The crime stuff was interesting, but I still should be getting a good superhero payoff at the end. And I don't feel like we really got that. I mean, not saying I hate the series. It's I would definitely say it's better than Luke Cage season 1. It's better than Iron Fist. It's better than the Defenders. It's better than Jessica Jones season 2, but that's not saying much.
Yeah.
So it's like firmly in the middle for me. The top 3 being Daredevil seasons 1 and 2 and The Punisher.
And one of the things, I don't know if you noticed, but when they were doing the whole sprinting thing, when he's out there doing the time trials and all that kind of stuff, like the tryouts, if you will, the special effects for that weren't really good.
No, not even. Well, even with the flames when he's on fire and stuff, it was like they can do better than that.
Yeah, so you could tell the budget went way, way down.
Well, yeah, like the Expanse does better than that with half the budget. I still think these shows probably cost like millions an episode. Yeah, but it looks like Star Trek Discovery spent more money on their show. I mean, it's better than Star Trek Discovery because everything is all right. My home movies from when I was like 5 are better than Star Trek Discovery. So Netflix better get it together. They got lots of competition now, says Viking Bitch. Agreed. They do. It was, you know what? I heard Doomcock talking about this on the World Class Bullshitters, and he is right. What the makers of Star Wars and what the makers of Marvel have to realize now is they aren't the only game in town. There is shitloads of competition out there. Okay.
Yep.
You can't just wow somebody by showing up. You need to bring it, and I bring it with storytelling. Like spectacle is there. Anybody can do spectacle. It's easy. Jurassic World or whatever is great with doing the spectacle, but you need to draw them in with great characters and story, and that isn't easy. That's not something you can pull off all the time. So you don't let people like Drew Goddard walk when they, if you give them what they want, because they bring them, and Stephen Knight bring you Daredevil, which is fucking perfection. I still like Daredevil season 1 better than any MCU movie. It's my favorite thing from Marvel is Daredevil season 1.
I think we found our tagline. Everything is better than Star Trek Discovery.
That will be one of them, JP. I love that. But actually, Viking Bitch presented us with a tagline that I like, which is we do it live and long. What's up, I Love Comics? How's it going, England team? It's going good. It's going good. We're just chatting away. Talking about Luke Cage season 2. What'd you think, man?
And actually, I was just talking to my supervisor today, who had gone and seen a certain Star Wars movie that's out in the theaters at the moment, and said, and this guy is by no means like a nerd or anything like that. He just went with his daughter to go and see this thing. He says, he goes, it wasn't really that good,
right?
And this is just an average schmo moviegoer, and he's like, the other Star Wars have had big budgets. He goes, he felt bigger, and he goes, this one didn't pay off. It just was kind of there. And I said, kind of like a TV movie, and he's like, yeah. So
yeah, and that's what they're faced now. And believe me, if people don't think the MCU can go that route, they can. I don't know how much longer. I'll come out and predict it right now. I think Kevin Feige is going to leave sooner than later. I think he's I wouldn't be surprised to see him leave after Avengers 4. He might see in the first part of the next 20 movies, but he's got bigger things to do. He can be like a big player, not just a producer. Okay. He can go and like run a studio, and that's a big deal. So, and he's getting lots and lots and lots and lots of offers, including the Star Wars one, which he turned down. So I don't think that's going to last forever. But it was okay. So I did ask Angleton a question. I asked him if he liked it. He said it was good up to the last 3 episodes, and then it falls apart. Yeah. Honestly, if you ended it on episode 10, I'd have been fine. I know it wouldn't have resolved anything, but I loved episode 10. So
yeah.
Oh my Lord. Did I see Langley? Did I see Langley in there? Whoa, Langley.
Yes, I think Langley is in there, I believe. Excuse me.
You've been watching. I was just thinking about you, man. It's like you felt my vibes. I hope you're doing well, Langley. It is great to see you, man. You're awesome.
Someone just asked me about Daredevil season 3 and when that's coming out. Honestly, I remember it saying something about early next year. Is that right? Because Punisher is supposed to be coming out the end of this year, so I think it's supposed to be March of next year, if I'm not mistaken.
What?
Daredevil season 3?
No, Daredevil season 3 is coming out this year.
Oh, is it this year? Okay,
Yeah,
it is
coming out in September. September or early October. But no, we are getting Daredevil season 3 this year, and then after that, it's Iron Fist.
They Punisher 2?
Or Punisher 2. No, sorry. Punisher 2, my bad. Yeah, we're getting 4 Netflix series this year.
Okay.
The reason they rushed them was because the Fox Disney deal, and they didn't know what was going on. And as long as Netflix keeps making them, they can keep them. So to answer my question, yes, of course they're gonna fucking renew Luke Cage season 3. They will.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I liked it for what it was. Yes, was it a superhero show? Not really. No. Was it well written? In parts, yeah. I mean, there was some stuff that could have been done better. They dropped out some stuff. Quite honestly, I want to see a Heroes for Hire. I want to see Power Man and Iron Fist, Daughters of the Dragon, Misty Knight, all that kind of stuff all together in one show. But that's what I want to see. I don't want to see them separated.
I like Misty Knight.
Yeah,
I do.
I do love this actress playing Misty Knight. She does such a phenomenal job. Simone Missick is her name.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. And Langley's been busy, and busy's good.
Nice.
Busy's good. Yeah, I'd love to see them do that one show rather than solo shows, Dennis. Yeah, please. Just and maybe that's what they do. That would get more. I think that would get more views than Defenders would. I think there's a lot of fans of Heroes for Hire. There is a whole generation who grew up reading Power Man and Iron Fist. Hello, and Dennis. Which
exactly.
The story behind that
that's
was
on my glass right there. Heroes for Hire.
It's 2 fledgling comic books, right? So it was Iron Fist and Power Man, and they didn't want to cancel them. So what they did was like, fuck it. We'll just put them in the same comic, and we'll continue the numbering from Power Man, I believe it was. Yeah. And that's why it starts at issue 50. 50 is actually number 1. I fucking remember buying that. It's weird. I had such a clear memory of buying that comic. I bought it at the Coronet newsstand, and I read it after school one day. It's like a vivid memory. I don't know why. But I just loved it. I thought it was great. So I think it would be a lot of fun. And that way, yeah, you could bring in, do Heroes for Hire, and then you could do Misty, Colleen. You could bring in somebody else. I don't know. Pick a street hero. I don't care.
Yeah.
Now is you know what would have been fun? And you know what can save this season and make it great? For one, there was no mention of Kingpin at all. So we've got all these crime families consolidating, and there's no mention of fucking Kingpin. They mentioned Madame Gao, which is fine. What would be great is this is a big setup. Like basically Luke Cage brokers all this peace and like clears the path for Kingpin to come back. And if they connect it, that would be awesome. And like Luke Cage is actually in Daredevil, and maybe Kingpin like does something to him, and like maybe Nightshade gets to him, and of course he spends like the whole season knocked out. And are we gonna get Danny Rand like playing Daredevil in the beginning of Daredevil season 3? Because they alluded to the fact,
they did put that in there and at the end of Defenders of him putting on the suit.
Yeah, or if him at least taking care of Hell's Kitchen while he's gone.
Yeah.
And your opinion was season 2 an improvement on season 1? Yes,
Yes.
I will
Definitely.
say that. Predictions for season 3. Well, I think we're gonna get Kingpin. So Daredevil did this storyline for a long time where he took over, he beat the shit out of Kingpin and basically became the crime lord. It was a pretty good story. I didn't like it very much. I don't like Daredevil, like even flirting with that. Daredevil's an idealist. Okay, Daredevil's like I just never bought that story, but it was okay. Luke Cage, I can see doing this. I think this is I would have rather not them ended there, like done that halfway through and then see him come out of it. I hate that they kind of end. I like the story. I don't know like where they put it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, actually, speaking of which, going back to that episode, the thing that made me laugh in that episode was near the end is when Misty's there, all dolled up in the club, and she's like, am I gonna have to stop you? And he says, well, that's what you're here for, in case I do step over the line, you're gonna stop me. And Suge comes in and says, oh, so and so's here and so-and-so's here. He goes, okay, put him in the VIP. He goes, oh, we've got some other business to take care of. And they look at Misty, and Misty's like, oh, are you serious? And she walks out, and we have the Godfather scene where we see him sitting at the desk, and it's taken directly from the Godfather, and we have the helper closing the door as they're discussing business. And I was like, that was pretty damn funny.
That was, and that's actually the I think that's the shot that's going to be our thumbnail, by the way. Which is here. I'll just show you. Quick preview. I usually don't have them ready beforehand, but this one's ready. So
yeah, it made me giggle when I saw that, and I was like, they did not just do the Godfather.
I thought that was a good money shot right there. So
yeah,
you got to use the money shot. I was very proud of my thumbnail for my dressing down of Westworld yesterday. Man, Doomcock and I. It's either gonna be Friday or after The Expanse. We're both kind of chomping at the bit. And you said it yourself, Dennis. Like, this episode's probably gonna piss me off, but right now I'm okay with it, and I was okay with it. And then, except there was a couple things I wasn't, and then I slept on it and woke up, watched it again, and went, "That didn't make any fucking sense."
I told you.
Whatsoever.
I told you.
That makes no fucking sense. It was weird. And it's Doomcock really explains well, like how they mesmerize you. Basically, it's all trickery. But no, we're talking about Power Man. I'm Danny Rand. I am Iron Fist, but okay.
Langley M. Neely says, I find it ironic that supposedly Rosario Dawson was Fuller's first choice for Burnham on STD, but couldn't do it because of the Marvel Netflix shows. I guess she lucked out. No. Yeah, she did.
Right?
Dodged a bullet on that one.
God, she did. She probably would have been better though, but no. Oh my God, that makes my stomach hurt a little bit to see our beloved. I consider Rosario Dawson the queen of the nerds. I mean, I know there's other people out there, but I just think she's been in so many things, and she's also like really good to like nerds, the community and stuff. And she also walks her dog. I don't know if she still does, but I don't know if she still lives here. But for a while, she lived in San Francisco, and she walked her dog in Dolores Park. She was cool. I'd hate to seen her in Star Trek Discovery. But Star Trek Discovery is the gift that keeps on giving. I cannot wait for that show to come back. Fucking hurry up. Please. It's nice to kind of let loose on one show,
to vent to. Jody says, and that painting he swapped out for Biggie's was that Muhammad Ali? Yeah, that was Muhammad Ali. And that was a picture, actually, of Muhammad Ali taking on the fisheye lens, punching at the camera.
Yep. And why do the producers take the Iron Fist thing so seriously? In the comics, he can use more than one fist, right? Langley, I know. They always go, we got to get that money shot in. Glowy fist. It's like, if that was all you can do, then just cut the Iron Fist's arm off and you win. He can do a little more than that.
Actually, they did do that in a comic.
Yes,
they
they
cut
did.
off his arms.
Yes, they did. And why not put a fucking costume on him? Excuse my language, but yeah, that's the one superhero that really needs a costume. It's little Finn Jones. It's little cute Finn Jones. I mean, he's barely a man. Okay, I know he's in his 20s, but like he looks like a 16-year-old boy.
So will you be reviewing STD season 2? Yes.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Hopefully Doomcock will join us if he isn't like at 300 million subscribers. Nah, he won't forget about me though. That's what they all say. No. Yes, we will be covering it. Actually, we're going to be covering a couple other shows that may surprise you, but like I said, I'm mining for the summer. There wasn't much there. So yeah, I'll save that. But there's a couple of big shows that we don't cover that we're going to cover now.
Like one of them is going to be, and I'm just going to spoil it now, a Blossom retrospective.
It is. That's it. It's out. It's out of the bag. Blossom, Gilmore Girls. What's some other dumb comedies that I don't know?
How I Met Your Mother.
How I Met Your No, that's not dumb. Full House. Roseanne. Yeah. We're gonna do Roseanne.
Nope, it's been canceled. Sorry, we can't do it.
Doesn't matter. We'll just do it over and over again. Doomcock is my he's one of my IBFFs. Feisty's my other. Comics too.
Oh my god, what was the pizza commercial? I don't know, Roywood. I don't know what pizza commercial you were talking about.
Was there an ad running before our thing?
There might have been.
Oh yeah. I don't see those. I have no idea what runs before our video.
I don't see it either.
You know, we actually can go into our settings and control that to make sure we're not like running something we don't agree with, but I don't really care. I don't really care.
It's the Ambien. Yeah, it is the Ambien.
Ambien. That's right.
Oh, that's right. Roy said something at Papa Green's Pizza. I guess it was. I didn't see that in the show, but yeah,
I didn't.
Oh, sidetracked into Last. Oh, that's right. It's the Last Dragon. Because they were talking about Last Dragon.
Oh, okay.
So that's what okay. It took me a while. It's been a while since I've seen Last Dragon.
We get there. It takes us.
I get that reference.
Jody, I am not Doomcock. Okay, Doomcock's smarter than me.
Bringing your pizzas to Daddy-O's Pizzas. Yes, I remember.
The beard trim is coming, Bad Bunny, very soon. Probably tonight after the show.
Oh man, yeah. Last Dragon was an awesome movie.
Yes, I did like when they talked about the actual dragon.
Yeah,
and I love that they're talking about suspension of disbelief because that's my argument. Remember, people are like going on, you know, like Hollywood producers are like, we can't put a costume on, so you got a blue guy bamfing around all the place. You know, it's my X-Men argument. So you can have a blue guy, right, who teleports throughout the White House, but no costumes. What? And yeah, it's dumb. So I love when he brings up the suspension of disbelief. Like, okay, you're like an impossibly hard person. I've got a glowy fist. And you know, there's a sour. You can't believe a fucking dragon. It's all nope.
Yeah. Movie for nobody. Dennis, do you feel the rhythm of the night only after Taco Bell?
El DeBarge. He leaves it all behind, man.
Yes. In more ways than one.
Oh my god, that song's stuck in my head now, you bastards.
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna start singing it. I gotta sing it to get rid of it.
That was an old evil game we used to play back in my bartending days when we were, you know, loading up for the night. And used to be, you know, what evil song could you get stuck in someone else's head? And I would always win. I'm not going to tell you what the song is because it's just evil. And
an earworm.
It is an earworm. Yes.
Yes. Cue the music. Oh hell no! I'm not.
Because I had the one song that would always get stuck in someone's head, and I would sing it.
Langley says it's in his head now too. You know my pain. I hated that song when it came out, and I hate it now.
Yeah, it used to be on the radio all the time when it came out.
The time
you could never escape it, and we only had radio back then. You know,
Yeah. So there would be the top 40 stations that would play like 9 songs over and over again, which is fine if you like one of the songs, but thanks, Feisty. All right, we could wrap this puppy up. Take some more chats while I pull up our video. Yeah.
Roy Wood says if they lead with Danny fighting the dragon in season 1, everyone would probably like him more. Yeah, they had to do a couple other things in season 1. Costume, show a little bit more of the mythology. There's a lot of things they missed doing. And again, it's just because they don't want to show superheroes anymore. They don't want to show powers. And again, it goes with their budget. Their budget's really pared down. And they're not going to show that kind of stuff. They just don't have the money for it. And so they've gone into this procedural kind of thing, or how can we do superhero shows without showing any superhero powers?
Yeah, how can we just retain rights? And also the guy was involved. I can't remember his name. I've blocked it out of my memory. The guy who wrote the Inhumans.
Yeah, Roy something or other.
I don't know, like Jack No Talent, whatever his fucking name is. Yeah, he's was involved, and I forgot what his name is now. And I don't care. He was involved and he sucked. So
yep.
I just missed that.
Captain Shortfuse says, love the show. I found the channel when The Expanse got canceled and desperately needed to find people to share my misery with. Can't wait until tomorrow night. Welcome aboard, Captain Shortfuse.
Oh, we are your destination for misery sharing. We are. I don't get the Daredevil cost, or get either the Daredevil has a costume. How come Iron Fist and Luke Cage don't? I don't get why Jessica Jones doesn't. I get why Jessica Jones doesn't, but Iron Fist should absolutely have a cage. I mean, cage. Why did I just say cage? I meant say costume. And it's ridiculous. And also because he's the one who has to kind of protect his identity. He's a billionaire, and the other thing I liked, episode 10 was great, and I loved they showed the respective power of his money and not his superpowers. I thought that was cool.
And I like that he finally got what Luke Cage was talking about. It wasn't about, him being a rich white boy or anything like that. It was his money. Is that people respected him because of his money.
Right. Scott Buck. Thank you.
Buck, yes.
That was answered by Jody and Langley M. Neely. Yes, he was a producer on both Inhumans and Iron Fist. The hackiest hack to ever hack. Scott, ruin your shows, Buck, says Langley. That sounded like you channeled your inner Doomcock right there. That's pretty good.
And Movie Finobi, that earworm, if you like pina coladas getting caught in the rain, I got one for you. My girl likes to party all the time.
Oh, no.
She does.
Right, like stop. We want people to watch our show. Okay, for Christ's sake. Think about the Beatles. Think about the Beatles. Think about
my girl likes to party all the time.
Yeah, no.
Who'll annoy us all with you gone, Bunny? Is what Ben Farm Girl says.
It's probably a Bad Bunny. What, are you going to miss us tomorrow?
Yeah, he's going to miss us tomorrow.
There is nothing more important than us. You need to cancel it.
Yep, exactly.
What's up, Ion Trone? How's it going? Inhumans are amazing. You're funny. Well, that's one of the shows we kind of rage. Remember, that's so funny. Is we
put that one after the
shit
first
on the show. We rage quit on it, and people loved it. Like, loved that video. We're like just talking shit. I think it was the only time John and I and Dennis all agreed on something, and it was just crapping all over it. It was funny, and we tried to give it a chance because we kind of wanted to be contrarians. It's like, could it really be that bad? And oh Lord, it was.
Yeah, I mean, it was just bad.
Good night, Movie Finobi. We're out of here too. Our wonderful patrons. Dennis, why don't you start taking the chat?
Well, thank you, Viking Bitch, Jody, Pen Farm Girl, Feisty Fan, Ray Rain, Langley Neely, Iron Trone. There we go. Bad Bunny. Excuse me, Mary Ashmead. I keep getting your name right this time. Captain Shortfuse, welcome aboard, Captain. Welcome, Captain. Ray Rain, Roy Wood, JP. JP, how's it going? And I know there's more people in here because there's a lot of people that were in here. Feisty Fan, thank you. And also thank you for all the super chats as well. Excuse me. And that is all I've got there. So, and thank you for everybody else that I missed. Oh, and I love comics. I got you there too.
Englentine, what's up, buddy?
That's
Okay,
right.
so thank you for the super chats, which were Movie Fanobi for $1.99, Feisty Fan for $4.99, Movie Fanobi for $1.99, Feisty Fan for $4.99, Viking Bitch for $2, and Movie Fanobi for $1.99. Thank you for the generous and wonderful super chats. You guys are awesome. I also have some patrons. We got some new patrons, which is
Nice.
great. Dakota James Stanton, of course, Marcel, Jeffrey Kane, Alicia Morel, and Mark Mignata. And I just want to let you know that aside from Alicia, who I think just signed up today, that's right, your packages went out. All right, so packages are on the way. They should arrive within the next 48 to 72 hours. And yeah, I hope you like them. I haven't charged you guys yet. I'm going to put up a video tonight. You're getting a kind of a cool video. We did a benefit for Ed Hannigan like a few years ago for the Cartoon Art Museum, and I shot and directed it. And we have a couple of my employees there, which is Chris and Kara, and they're freaking adorably cute and young. It's so funny seeing them in that video. And we interview people you might love or hate. Jimmy Palmiotti, Derek Robertson, Gail Simone. So that's yeah, that was fun. So that video will be going up shortly, and that's for the patrons. And
Nice.
That's it. All right, everybody, you did a great job in the chat as always. You guys make the show. It's not about what we think, it's about what you think. And our next show is, I'm excited about this tomorrow. Okay, so I'm so excited that I'm taking off work early, so I make sure we get there on time. So our starting time is 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. Dennis, myself, Doomcock, after a 2-hour finale of The Expanse. It's going to be fucking awesome. I cannot wait. And Doomcock, right after his appearance on the wonderful World-Class Bullshitters, I'm a fan. I've been a fan of those guys for actually a long time. And I was so happy that he got on there, and he did a great job. He really did a great job. He's going to blow up, man. That guy's going to get so fucking huge. It's great. I love seeing his success because he actually is a really nice guy. So there you go. Next is the Doomcock. So I'll see you guys all tomorrow night. Dennis, take us out, man.
I also want to say like, share, and subscribe if you can, if you like us. And also take a look for us on Facebook. And then also, Children of Earth, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you might get some voodoo powder blown in your face and knocked off a bridge into the water. You don't want to have that happen. It's not good.
It's not good. Luke Cage. Sweet Christmas.